Good morning, Big Weir, roadtoroad.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee, which I already drink. Um, I got up early, I had some stuff to do, but I woke up to the news that the whole Vegas shooting thing, and I'm not going to claim conspiracy yet. I never do until like 4 or 5 days after, but all the earmarks are there. I saw an interview with this guy. I saw two interviews. One guy, I'm going to carry people's bodies in my truck to the hospital. Um, Definitely a crisis actor. I saw another guy say, "Oh, there were people dying all over me," and you could tell he was reading from the script, and whether or not it happened, whether or not it was blanks being shot, whether or not people died, we're not going to know this until it's usually a couple weeks after that all the real conspiracy stuff comes out, and we figure out if it's a false flag or not. Not everything's a false flag, but I'm sure there's some agenda going on behind the scenes. And I did see a lot of video. Remember, thousands of people were at this concert, thousands of people with recording devices. I've yet to see anybody get shot. I've yet to see anybody with convincing real injuries. So we'll see what happens. Might be wrong, but it's very early, and there should be, thousands of videos online of when this happened, because people are already out recording concerts all the time anyway. But I haven't seen it. So I'm going to withhold my judgment on the Las Vegas shooter, but given the time we're at in the process of taking out the bad guys, this could be an orchestrated thing for some reason, for one reason or the other. I do know that Nevada is voting on a bill to ban silencers. Clearly, this would obviously make sure that bill gets passed. Maybe that's what it was about. I don't know yet. But a lot of things look suspicious as usual, and I will be coming out with another video probably in a week or two when all the evidence comes out of whether or not it's a false flag or what in the world's going on. Moving on. This is the worst year for U.S. construction spending since 2010. We all know that there is no recovery, and even though they're pumping money into the economy like it's going out of style, that is just to hold things above water, and it's not helping at all. All it is doing is building the debt, and everybody's got way too much debt to ever pay off. But here's a real interesting one. The IMF head foresees the end of banking as Bitcoin surges above 4,400. Quote, the technology itself can replace national monies, conventional financial intermediation, and even puts a question mark on the fractional banking model we know today. So I think it may not be wise to dismiss virtual currencies. That's basically, she's talking directly to Jamie Dimon. Now, I pulled this one up because I want to talk about it a little bit. I guarantee you Lynette Zhang is going to be jumping up and down. I told you so. I told you so. It's all ACC chain. And that's fine. Go for it, Lynette. Have a day. No, I do not believe the IMF will be the decider of what our next money is. That has been long foretold. And remember, 2018 is when the Economist magazine said the one world currency will hit. And not one world government, one world currency. And back then, they were probably thinking it would be gold. They did have a gold coin around the phoenix's neck, although they had the circle with the pierced arrow through it on the coin, and it said 2018. That's an Illuminati symbol. I'm not exactly sure what it means, and the people I've asked are not exactly sure, but it may have something to do with the coming Earth changes. As in, the arrow piercing the circle could be a big expansion event with our planet. It also shows that on the cover of the World in 2017 Economist magazine. It shows a picture of Earth splitting with the United States being split down the middle. Could it be symbolic of the current left-right paradigm fights that are going on? I don't know. And if the Earth is going to make some large splits and earthquakes and all that, there's nothing we can do about it anyway, so why dwell on it? But I did hear that the new the World in 2018 Economist magazine, they're starting to talk about it. I got an email from the Economist saying, do I want to pre-order? I don't pre-order it because I live in the United States and they ship it from the UK, and it's already on all the books store stands by the time they get around to shipping me my magazine. So I go out and I go find it as soon as it's put out. I'm interested. The cover I saw, I don't know if it was the cover of the magazine or just it was just there. It had nothing on it except a picture of planet Earth. That's the only thing that was on it. Darkness behind it, and basically a picture of planet Earth with nothing written. So it was probably the pre-cover that they used to announce the publication, but we'll find out. And if you haven't bought my report yet on the world in 2016, go to roadtoruler.com, which is right here. And you can go to the general store right there and go down, and right there at the bottom, the world in 2017. You can buy that report for 15 bucks. A lot of the things I talk about, and I go through every tarot card, some of it has definitely happened. Trump was elected president, and I wrote this report in end of October, early November of 2016, when everybody thought, no, when did I write it? Yeah, I don't know if I wrote it before or after Trump became president, but definitely has the Tower card, the Judgment card. The big card I really like to analyze is the World card, which has all the Federal Reserve stuff on it, the Illuminati, the Road to Ruta stuff, the pyramids for the Grand Canyon gold, all that stuff. So go check it out if you're interested. And then let's talk a little bit more about the IMF. Christine Lagarde, in a remarkably frank talk at the Bank of England conference, the managing director of the IMF has speculated that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency have as much of a future as the internet itself. It could displace central banks, conventional banking, and challenge the monopoly of national monies. Well, that's absolutely true, and no, I don't want to be lumped in agreeing with the head of the IMF. But of course, the IMF will say, we can be involved in that and try to take over. And will it happen? No, it's not going to happen. The deciders of the old system will not be the deciders of the new system. And I believe that wholeheartedly. And if you read the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston documents that I've analyzed, it says it right there that they're trying to get rid of these big people, as they call it. And they're doing a good job, I think, but it's taken a long, long time. But yes, so just like Chris Duane agreed with Jamie Dimon, I'm agreeing with Christine Lagarde about that the cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin are ready to go. And if Chris comes out and says, "Oh my God, Bix is agreeing with the head of the money cabal and things like that," I don't give a shit what he thinks. But he will. He loves saying that stuff. In the long run, the technology itself can replace national monies, conventional financial intermediation, and even puts a question mark on the fractional banking model we know today. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that fractional banking model is breaking down as we speak. In a lecture that chastened her colleagues for failing to embrace the future, she warned that not so long ago, some experts argued that personal computers would never be adopted and that tablets would only be used as expensive coffee trays. So I think it may not be wise to dismiss virtual currencies. True, and in the beginning of the internet and the World Wide Web, they were saying, "Oh my God, it'll only use for money laundering and drug running." What are they saying now about the cryptocurrencies? It'll only be used for money laundering and drug running. Yes, those take place on the internet, but would you sacrifice all the pros from the internet, all the good things that the internet has given humanity for the bad things? No, that's exactly what's happening with the cryptocurrencies. You're not going to swap the bad stuff for the good stuff because the good stuff is transformational. So all those who believe in the old system that say, no, cryptocurrencies are no good, here's the old system saying, hey, take a look at these cryptocurrencies again, because they've come so far in the past 8 years, and we're just in the baby stages, the very beginnings. And if you're involved in it, if you've been involved with the Road to Ruta stuff, you're real happy. you got involved, and you understand it better than you did in the beginning, right? Right? Everybody say, nod your head, say, yes, Biggs, we understand it better than we used to. I didn't like it when it first came out either. I didn't understand it, but at least I dug into it to make sure I was not missing something. And lo and behold, I said, oh my God, I'm going to miss something huge if I don't really understand this stuff and dive into it and invest in it, which is what I have done and what a lot of you have done. Congratulations. If you have not yet, just go to Coinbase and start up an account, and you can get going. It's real easy. All right. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it's on Zero Hedge. Go check it out if you're interested in what Christine Lagarde, who was placed as the head of the IMF after that Strauss-Kahn guy got axed by the planting of the maid who said he sexually abused her. That was really intense, whatever happened there. So those of you who remember that, that was crazy. How to remove the head of a huge monetary arbitrator, monetary, I don't even know what the IMF does. They have special drawing rights, but they supposedly hold gold, but nobody knows where that gold is held. It is pledged gold. They don't hold the gold. It is rehypothecated gold. Every country hangs on to their gold, and then the IMF says, oh, we hold all this gold, but they have no vault. So, yeah, interesting days. And let's go back to silver, the #1 most suppressed asset in the world, even more than the cryptos. The cryptos aren't necessarily suppressed. They're brought down after they get too high, but they're just growing. They're growing into something. They're flourishing. It's a flower blooming. It's still a little bud, but it's starting to bloom. With silver, it has been sat on and suppressed and pounded down for at least 150 years, going back to the Opium Wars. The UK is knee-deep in it. The British royal family is knee-deep in it. The Federal Reserve is knee-deep in it. In order to run an unbacked system, you have to control the price of silver and gold and oil, and you have to control the price of everything, which the invention of the computer and the first computer programs written by Alan Greenspan in the 1960s are what invented electronic assets today. That invention gave humanity, gave these people in power the ability to go off a gold standard, the ability to rig any market they want with the click of a mouse. And that is exactly what goes on every day from the Fed of New York and the basement of the U.S. Treasury, where there's an electronic trading floor. That is exactly what the Road to Ruta was all about. Alan Greenspan inventing these programs in the 60s and 70s to be implemented as computer rigging models. And it also invented the very first electronic assets. And now everything is an electronic asset. And there's good electronic assets based on the cryptocurrency, based on math, based on mining, based on truth and honesty. And there's the bad ones that are based on the computer at the Fed and the unbacked fiat money system. All that electronic money is debt, is somebody else's debt, whereas the cryptos are not debt. So really interesting times. But if you look at the price of silver, it is just being sat on and sat on. Here's the last 30 days when everybody said, oh, silver's going to go crazy in September. So what do? Slammed it down. Nice job there, Steve Mnuchin. Nice computer click you did. And in the last 60 days, you see how it was building up when everybody, where's that guy? What's his name? Bull Pony. He's like, oh, yeah, the metal's going to go crazy on September 23rd or something like that. He got another one wrong. Come on, Bo. Just give it up. Give up the ghost. I was getting them wrong, too, because I didn't know just how much control a computer had in the basement of the U.S. Treasury. Click, and you're done. Click, and you're done. Click, and silver doesn't go over $17 ever again until they remove those guys. And when they do, that's when you're going to want to own a lot of physical silver. Silver in your own possession can save your ass, no matter what happens. And all the industrial guys are going to be clamoring for that silver. So how much would Apple Computer pay to have silver used in their componentry? Because it's, they use maybe, a thousandth of an ounce of silver in every cell phone. And flat screen TVs use 1 or 2 ounces. These people are going to pay a lot of money to get your physical silver out of your hand. So definitely load up silver right now. As you can tell, on each one of these charts, we're at the low, right? Look at them. Low, low. Maybe not this one. The 6 month, it did go down near $16, but that's not far from where it is today, where it's like 16.50. So we're low, 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 and then it's gonna go shoop right up there. So low, low, low. Look right here, 10 years, low, low, bouncing on the lows, right there. I mean, that's a great chart to look at. Bounce, 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 bounce. Would you rather buy here or would you rather buy here? And just think how much money has been created over this time space. Unbacked fiat money, trillions has been created, and this should be way up off the charts, but it's held down and price suppressed. This run right here was Jamie Dimon's head. He called him the head of his SWAT team. And his name's Bill Daley. Went to Obama. They implanted him in Obama's White House as the chief of staff for Obama, and the price of silver shot from $20 to $50, and then got slammed down. And then when the year was over, it ended up right back where it was, and then the whole thing started fresh, and Bill Daley left Obama. So that was absolutely a manipulation up and a manipulation down, all controlled by computers. And then we have the most recent stuff is controlled by a guy named Steve Mnuchin. Now, Steve Mnuchin was the guy in charge of IT at Goldman Sachs. He was the head computer rigger. That's why he got put as the head of the Fed. It's all about computers and manipulation. That's why, not the head of the Fed, the head of the Treasury. Alan Greenspan was the king computer rigger, so that's why he was put as the head of the Fed. So it's all about controlling the price of silver, controlling the price of gold. And yes, I do think the price of gold will go up, but I also know that there's a lot more gold than they're talking about, which is great. It's good for anybody thinking we might go back to some kind of gold standard, because a backed system will not work. That will not work. No one would trust the people holding the gold. Redeemable, fully redeemable when you walk into your bank, yeah, then that would work. But the banks don't have a lot of gold yet. But if there's a lot of gold hidden in the United States, which I believe there is, then we could go back onto a partial gold standard, partial crypto standard, and I think silver will be used in manufacturing because it's too valuable to use as money. It's just too valuable. It's like we're not going to use platinum as money either because it's way too valuable. And it's needed in industrial applications. Gold, you don't need it anywhere but as money and jewelry. So go for it. Anyway, this is Big Weir, roadtoroot.com with your morning horn of Z's. And then later today, I'll be doing an update from the greenhouse. So stay tuned. Talk to you later.